Alright, in this video we'll be looking at how to solve a chain rule question for derivatives. So what's important to note here is that on a test, on an assignment, especially on exams, they're not going to tell you use the product rule, use the chain rule, use the quotient rule. They won't do that. They will simply ask you to derive. And it's up to you to figure out which method to use for derivatives. There's the product rule, quotient rule, chain rule. Is it implicit differentiation? You are going to have to figure that out. So my job is to show you guys simple tricks to help you figure out which method it is. So what's going to happen on a class test or on an exam is you will but you won't necessarily always see a question that you can strictly go to deriving it right away. Usually what's going to happen is they'll give you a question as such, and you'll have to simplify it before deriving it. Okay? So look at this question. You see that we have the fifth root of an expression. Don't be scared of the lawn. Don't worry, guys. We'll deal with it. The first thing to deal with is this fifth root. Remember that the square root of x can be rewritten as an exponent, right? Same thing here. So why don't we rewrite this in a simpler form? Ln of x plus 4. Remember, let's keep everything in brackets, right? Because it's a one expression. Raised to the power of 1 over 5. Just like this. Right? Okay, much simpler now. Hopefully, you guys should have noticed that this is now a simple chain rule expression. Right? If I would ask you, okay, from here, what method will you use to derive? Well, it's not a product rule, because there's only one x here. It's not a quotient rule, because there's no division. So what's left? Just the chain rule, right? So how am I going to derive using the chain rule? What is the chain rule again? Isn't it just simply bring down my exponent minus 1 of my expression multiplied by the derivative of the inside, right? So let's keep that in mind. Let's do the first part. Bring down my exponent 1 over 5 multiplied by the expression, right? Okay, and the exponent is minus 1. Well, what does that give you? Minus 1. Remember that this is over 1, common denominator, right? So my common denominator is 5. What did I multiply this to get to 5? 5. So it's 1 minus 5, which will give me negative 4 fifths. Alright, guys? So that's what your exponent is. Perfect. So that's the first part. Now remember, the chain rule says I have to multiply by the derivative of the inside. Well, let's go back for a second because we have a ln here. So if I gave you as an example, remember, write this down, guys, it's a little example. If I give f of x equals ln of 2x and ask you to derive this, how would you do that? Well, the derivative of the ln is nothing more than 1 over the expression meaning what's inside, multiplied by the derivative of the inside, which is 2. Okay, so remember, the derivative of a ln has two parts. 1 over the expression multiplied by the derivative of the expression itself, 2. And then you could cancel out, and you'd be left with 1 over x. Alright, guys, so make sure to copy this down and keep it on the side, because we're going to use it right now. Okay, so let me erase this for you guys. Okay, so here, chain rule part 1, bring down your exponent, minus 1, done. Here you have to multiply by the derivative of the inside, which is the second part of chain rule. And look, ln, how do I derive a ln? It's 1 over the expression, x plus 4, right? Multiplied by the derivative of the expression itself. What's the derivative of x plus 4? 1. How simple was that? Basically, you are done. Why? Because I did my chain rule, right? Bring down minus 1 of the expression, multiplied by the derivative of the inside, 1 over x plus 4, times the derivative of x plus 4, which is 1. Nothing else I can combine here. You are done. So, the point of this question was to show you in a very quick way how to kind of simplify an equation given to you in a little complex manner, in a way that basically helps you see which method of derivation or differentiation that you're going to use. In this case, by putting it to a power, you simply saw that this was a chain rule question. And I also outlined how to find the derivative of a ln, which has two parts, right? 1 over the expression multiplied by the derivative of the expression. Alright guys, so that's pretty much how to do a chain rule. If you have any other questions, make sure to go to bbtutorials.com and send us an email or give us a call, and we'll be glad to send you more problems. Alright guys? And make sure to look out for our crash courses coming up in December at Dawson, Marianopolis, and Vanier.